Greetings everyone, my name is Greg. In this video I am going to talk about fear and love and why these two emotions are mutually exclusive. It is written in the Bible on multiple places, both Old and New Testament, this idea of fearing God, and at the same time you're ordered to love this God. There are multiple problems with this. The first one being you can't order someone to love you. That simply doesn't work. Because true love can't be forced, it can't be ordered, it can't be demanded. Additionally, it is impossible to love something and simultaneously fear it. Because that which you fear, you run from. That which you love, you run towards. So the idea that fear and love are the same, no, it can't work that way. One of the things that Christians try and do to justify or play word games with this aspect of fear is they say, it means reverence. Actually, no. In the Greek, the word fear in some of the cases was the word phobos, which is where we get our word phobia from. It means terror. So to try and say that it means reverence is bullshit. They're trying to twist the words to mean it, to being in a way that is supportive of what their agenda is. But the truth of the matter is, when it comes to Christians and the God concept, they don't act as if they actually believe that this is a real being. What it seems more like is it is a mental construct that they like to cling to because, frankly, they don't want to have to take responsibility for what they do. It's also an easy way to try to give an answer for things like the universe, life, where this stuff comes from. It's easy to say, oh, God did it. That doesn't require any thought. It doesn't require actually exerting your brain power and actually looking for an answer, because anyone can mouth, oh, God did it, oh, magic did it, oh, abracadabra did it. But none of these people, none of them actually believe that anything can appear by abracadabra. Not one. I would challenge, and even a Kent Hovind, do they really believe that anything can be abracadabra, here it is? I think they would laugh at such a notion, but that is exactly what they're trying to sell everyone with their creationism bullshit. And then to try and act as if you have to both fear and love this God. You can't. Because my mom was verbally abusive with me. And there was a love-hate relationship that I had with her. And love and hate are not necessarily mutually exclusive, because it wasn't a matter of, in a sense, at the same time. It was more a matter of there was disdain, anger as a constant. But hate? No. And there was a part of me that did love my mom, even though she was very verbally abusive. It's a weird, in a sense, mental tricks that a child will do when they're confronted with the aspect of a parent as an abuser. And it can get into a type of Stockholm syndrome where the person can learn to love the abuser. And it's just, when my mom died of brain cancer, it wasn't something that I was overly emotional about. It was one that my dad had said that I would regret later, and no, because I recognized then, in my 20s, I can't change 1 second of the past, so boo-hooing over anything from the past, it's meaningless. I can't change it. The same would be the case with a God type of thing. I can't change the fact that I don't believe it. There's not evidence to support it, even if one would exist. I think it was Bertrand Russell that had said that, what would you say if confronted with a God? And he would be, you didn't give enough evidence. And that is, not only would I point to and mention something like that, but also being one of, hey, bub, you're based on your fan club, you're a prick. You're an immoral SOB that not only would I not I wouldn't, belief would require evidence, but I wouldn't follow it even if there was evidence for it, because I have evidence Hitler existed, but I sure as fuck wouldn't follow someone like that, because what he was about, what his agenda was, is something I can't go along with. It would be the same with a God, or the God of the Bible. It wouldn't matter. Existence doesn't equal goodness. And just because something exists, to be going around threatening to hurt someone else, someone weaker, because they don't think what it says or do what it says, that isn't the actions of something that is loving. That is the actions of a fucking bully. And I'll be damned if I'm going to be intimidated, manipulated, coerced by a goddamn bully. It doesn't work that way. So it's Christians that want to try and push their God and push their Pascal's wager shit. Shove it up your ass. I'm too much of a man to buy into and sell out my humanity for an illusion, for a fantasy. Because what caused me to walk away from Christianity at the age of 24 was realizing that even if this God would be real, I couldn't go along with the idea of torturing somebody else just because they didn't think like I do. That notion was one that I knew I couldn't go along with. So for good or for ill, I can't go along with this philosophy, this mindset. So at the time I knew, even though a part of me at that time did want to believe in a God, I knew I couldn't be a Christian because I couldn't go along with it. I couldn't make excuses for it. And that is another aspect of what Christians are doing, is they will make excuses to try and justify the behavior that they know inherently is wrong. But they will try to justify it because to them they have no choice. They have to find a way to make what they're being confronted with the God, jive with what they want to believe as far as an all-loving being, and these things can't. Because as I have said in different videos, anyone can hurt a child. It doesn't make you big. It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you right. It makes you a fucking bully. Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should do that thing. And that is what Christians can't wrap their head around. They think in their warped head that because the God can hurt you, that if you don't do what it says, it should hurt you. No. True power doesn't come from the ability to hurt a child. It comes from saying, I could, but I choose not to. That I won't. I could, but I won't. And that is something Christians can't wrap their head around. Because they wouldn't. That's the bottom line. And that's why I am not only an atheist, but an anti-theist. Not only do I not see evidence for a God, I see it as it's a goddamn good thing. Because as Christopher Hitchens put it, who among us would want to live in a celestial North Korea? I don't even think Christians would want that. But they will mouth words and run their mouth because the bottom line is they don't want to have to think. They don't want to have to be accountable for what they're doing. They want to be able to say they believe something, so that wipes away everything that they do. And that very premise is morally bankrupt. Atheists, don't let Christians try acting as if you don't have morals, when they're the ones, by the sheer essence of how they're behaving, are showing that they have no morals, no conscience. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.